you get in the situation where, I mean, shit, days are shitty for me, and you get into it, and I don't know, I don't watch football and shit. I don't get in this like I get into podcasts and I get into having a conversation with a person, and I love that shit. I love it.
We offer home, auto, commercial, builders, whips, and life insurance.
Oliver's good.
Oliver Shots Insurance.
The Shawn Podcast.
Yesterday in one of our events in NeoGolf, and it says Allan, Martel, and Sawson. That's his TrackMan golf name. It's Sawson.
That's my gamer tag.
Sawson's is what he goes by.
Yeah.
I mean,
A lot of
that's,
people know me as Saucy.
yeah, Sawson's, but I mean, Robbie's incredible at Call of Duty. He's competitive. I mean, if you get into the rhythm, you're in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just like this track, man. I swear. I feel like it's just like a grown man's video game. And you feel a little less shameful about it because you're actually improving some way, and moving.
what was it called again? What is the name of like that simulator?
The TrackMan simulator. It's just art. It's really the technology and software that run the whole system.
Yeah, it's there's
Bring that mic up just a little more.
There's a
On
bunch
the live. The live's different from like the recorded.
there's a bunch out there that there's a bunch of different. I think you said you had a SkyTrack, and there's a bunch of. I think they use like Full Swing on that TGR stuff. But if you go to a driving range at a PGA Tour event, like 90% of the guys, that's what they have behind them because it's just the most accurate. Some of the other ones may have some different features here and there, but like if you're trying to get better at golf and you want pure accuracy, that's what it is. And then it updates. It's like this global universe. You can play free events and have your name on the leaderboard, just like if you're playing Call of Duty and you get ranked, whatever.
It's like is it Golden Tee style, like leaderboard?
Yeah, I mean, now it is. That's
Okay.
what they're kind of evolving it into now that more and more facilities are, doing this style of business. So it's really cool. Like Robbie said, people say that all the time. They're like, it's kind of like when I go home and I really want to play Halo or Call of Duty or whatever.
Gives you that little
Same
fix.
deal. Yeah.
And then you kind of want to go back and, you're competing against yourself in one way. So for me, it's just like another practice. It's just another thing to get involved in. And like 90% of it doesn't involve anybody else. It's just me in there just working through whatever, give yourself something productive to.
And it tracks all your clubs, everything.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's
Do you have to put it in, or do it automatically sees it when you line it up?
yeah.
Man, it's infrared technology. So it's remarkable actually. Because it really, when you mess up, you're like, oh yeah, that's exactly what would happen off the tee box when I felt that, when you ping one off to the right.
So is there like a certain mat? I mean, is there a certain mat that tracks?
So it's radar and camera technology. So we actually have two different units in NeoGolf. So the first two units we had are the ones that you can use indoors or outdoors that you see on the driving ranges on tour events. So we have two of those set up, and then we have two that are permanently mounted that are the indoor optimized ones. And so both of them use cameras and radar. So it literally, if you're outside, it tracks the ball until it lands and how it's spinning and the physics of it to produce an image on the screen. And so it's got a radar Doppler. And so you have to have it so many feet from where you're hitting, but there's no special mat. It doesn't, if it says it's an 8-foot putt, you just putt it 8 feet. It doesn't have to touch the screen. It tracks it,
Holy
completely.
shit.
Oh, it's really, really cool. And then you pair that with the commercial side of TrackMan that our facility is automated. So 24/7 access. If you have a Birdie or Eagle membership, you get on our app and you book your tee time, and you walk up to the door and click a button and the door unlocks. Scan a QR code on the screen, and then you're playing or practicing on your own.
Shawn, have you played on their course?
Not yet. It's in the works. My buddy John, he's a member there. Just got to figure out a day to get out there,
We'll just leave John out of
Hey,
it.
my boy Nolan Keith's like, I told him about Robbie coming on, and he's like, Nolan's a good buddy of mine, Lost Springs, shout out, and he's like, I love that place. Like, I'll play with Robbie. I'm like, no, I can see it. I mean, it's competitive.
Yeah. I have to look at I can look at the amount of visits. He's got Nolan's up there too.
Number one.
Robbie's number one.
I'm number
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I got the most
You can
hours
see
logged.
how many times they've walked in the door, and so it's awesome, man. But that's what we're just building like a golf community. It's almost, I compare it personally, in my opinion, it's like owning a golf course, an indoor golf course. So I can host tournaments. I can do a charity event over the course of a month where people just come in whenever they can and play their round on the simulator, just like you would play on a golf course. We have leagues, events, birthday parties, everything.
Can you rent clubs if you don't have a set of clubs?
Yeah, we have clubs in
Okay.
there as well. Right now, we just have clubs that people can use. You don't really have to rent them. Most people bring their own clubs, but I mean, I'm teaching a ton. And,
Look, Mr. Billy Golden Gate, he charges a little bit. You know what I mean? You get them, you know, if you want them Jaguars, bro.
On those speed skates.
You throw a couple more dollars in, or you get the bananas.
Do you have to have a membership?
So no.
Time or
No. So we have two options. We have public booking. So you can just pay $50. 2 people can come in and play for an hour. If you bring 3 people, it's $60 an hour. If you bring 4 people, it's $70. And the difference is like memberships can book all 4 bays. Public can only book 2. And then the 24/7 access is only for the Birdie and Eagle membership. So we just topped 50 members this past week. So it's going super well. It's nice. Everybody's enjoying it. We have a lot of people that are coming back that bring other people there. And then we have a really big junior program that's, of golfers coming through, getting lessons, getting some of the physical therapy and performance training stuff at Neo Life as well. So it's I don't know what it's going to look like in a year, but it's not.
You can't leave out though that, I mean, to me, it's like my favorite thing is going to a range and shooting my Call of Duty guns. I'm guessing golf. I mean, to me, when I used to go to the driving range, it was a fucking stress reliever for me to just fucking swing. And yeah, is that helping with people with their, stress, depression,
It's a wellness service for sure. It's a part of the Neoverse and part of like a community wellness opportunity, you could say. Anything that brings men out of the house, honestly, and then also gives them opportunities to escape the home in a way that's not really escaping their responsibilities. Because you can come in for 30 minutes and you could actually get a decent amount of work in and actually have a little sweat going, believe it or not, and go back to what you was doing, a little something productive. So I like that, and I've seen it being used for that, and I like that a lot.
and people guys add the physical therapy component. I always heard about it, and I thought that was interesting. Like,
Sure.
have a physical therapist watch you swing with a pro. Like, how does
Sure,
that go?
man, it's like our growth individually, because we're both big learners and we enjoy learning from each other. So when I'm watching, like,
bring it up just a little bit on the live because you got to go on your mic.
yeah. So we're like, I could see like our professional growth in terms of just performance.
Yeah. Just trying to pair it all together. So what we do is we try to pair, it's called TPI, Titleist Performance Institute. And so I'm a level 1 certified for that. And so you come in and get a 16-point assessment. And it's cool because like after you do the assessment, it will predict what your swing flaws are going to be. And then I'll hit a little button, like a prescription looking button, and it'll give you AI guided. So it takes your flaws and says, hey, you need better hip mobility, you need better shoulder mobility, and gives you specific exercises related to what your deficits are. And so then we take that over to Robby and his team with the performance team. And it's like, hey, this kid's really good with his shoulders and this, but he lacks hip mobility. And so they build a plan to work with that kid and improve that specific thing. And then he comes back in, takes a swing on the TrackMan, and we put tracers up on everything. And we say, see how much your hips have improved from the last lesson. And so it's state of the art. Top of the
It's
line.
like Dolph Lundgren and Rocky, right?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Well, it's not me we don't have to say this did better. You can objectively measure it and look at it and analyze it. And it's like for a person that thinks like I'm more of a scientist in terms of like, I'm just a life learner. I love to, see what's next and what's around the next corner. And
But it helps you have that all that information so you can focus on that.
That's really all that matters. If you don't have an objective way to look at things, and how can you honestly assess it or improve it? So it makes it easy It's just like eventually my goal is for people to get more independence in how they look at how you improve. So like you can have guys like me and Allan that can inspire them, that can help them frame the way they think about the problems you confront with a golf swing, but then it's also helping them confront other problems in the same fashion, because that's really all life is. It's just a series of problems and how well we manage them and deal with them. And, you know, that's from a wellness perspective, that's a part of how I look at it too.
I think and now we live in a world where, like you said, people want to have access to that stuff like at their hands. And so you just pull up the app and every shot that you've ever hit, as long as you scan the QR code, is on your phone. Like, and then if you come and get a lesson from me, I'm going to give you a little voiceover that's on your phone. And so it just, if somebody
slow
goes to a
motion
golf
guided
tournament,
videos
they
with
can
him
look at
talking
that.
and narrating, saying like, yeah, you know, we can see our angle here is a little low. We need to come a little wider. And it's like just a brief little assessment of what they did. And then he'll be like, yeah, so let's work on this between now and the next time I see you.
And that
and it's like, this happens.
Helps.
Like, it's so efficient the way they do it too. It's just like, I'm like, hold on, you just produced that. And it's got this slow motion analysis and swing planes and landmarks and all this stuff. It's crazy.
Well, I always say you look at, for me, if we're looking at like, you know, I know now videos is always like words, which does help, captions. But I'm a different person where it's like I'll focus on the caption so much, so I'm dyslexic, and I'll step back and then but if I have like a slower voice, that's what I can listen to. But if I sit there and look at the captions, I'm not looking at the swing. I'm just looking at the captions, and I have to go back and watch it 10 times. Mm-hmm. So when you're like slower in your voice, it's like, okay, I get it.
Well, I talk with patients a lot too, and a lot of elderly. So you learn to have to do it, or you're going to be repeating yourself constantly. But also, my voice puts people to sleep because it's very monotone.
Yeah,
you
definitely should do a meditation YouTube video.
Yeah.
So on that situation, can y'all give me a few, you know, on Shawn's, just on, like, say, like a person that came in, you got you got all the report, you sent it to him. Can you give me where he was playing or her playing before and after of when you send over to Robby? Do you have like kind of a score
Yeah. So there's assessment tests. So now how in depth it is, the college golf coach are asking for the people's TrackMan combine numbers. So you walk in there, and if you're like a high school golfer that's getting recruited, it's a 60 shot test. So it works all the way from like 30 yards to your driver and then back down to 30 yards. And it gives you a grade like a 90, 80, 70, 30. And so basically what they're doing is they want to see how well a kid can shoot numbers wise, but they also want to see what their swing potential is. And so they're asking for what your score is and what your TrackMan combine numbers are to be able to assess, do they want to recruit you or not? And so that's how important the numbers are, and the TrackMan and the trend that golf is going on to be more, you know, advanced with all the
how much indoor golf is a part of the actual assessment process.
Kids will come in there to get their TrackMan combine numbers, and it's literally a printout report. I can print it if I want, but most of them I just email it to. And it's like getting a grade in high school, like, oh, you just failed, you got a 50.
It's like a SAT score.
But you can go in there, it's an actual
like a piss
data
test.
point. Yeah. but it's saying the best you've ever done is 60. You're going to try to go in there the next couple of weeks and try to beat 60.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really what it's, you know,
you could do it. I do it randomly.
Yeah, it's not
because it's like, I
I
want to know what I'm doing, and it's actually pretty spot on. Like I started at maybe like a 50, and then I went to like a 51.2, and then now 53, and then I think I might have worked it up to like maybe a 56.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially if you're like, like me, you're your worst critic.
Yeah.
So when you're like looking at it, you're going to only push yourself to get better and better and better. Now you have the tools.
Yeah.
Small improvements too are the ones that I think people should focus on and just have means of measuring themselves more frequently.
What's the average score you kind of notice on that test?
If you score above a 50, you're doing pretty decent. I think they, you know, like a guy on a PGA tour is probably going to walk in and get between 94 and 100, somewhere in there. But so it's like a, you know, an A on a, you know, if you're really good. But I think like some of the college kids have come in from Gulf Coast Community College, and they can get in the low 90s, high 80s as well. But I mean, these are elite golfers, you know. So it's really good. Come in there one day, we'll get your score. I won't post it anywhere, but
I think that's the part of it that yeah, we'll keep, look, it's to your discretion. You know, it's like it's a HIPAA thing. You gotta sign something, you ain't saying nothing.
It humbles people at first, man. Like we get over this hump of like people come in there and they think they hit the ball farther. They think they hit the ball better, and there's a little bit of period, and there's probably been a few people that are like, "Oh, this isn't right," but it is. And I mean, my dad at first was a critic of it as well, and it's just like, it doesn't. He was doing that today. It doesn't. It's right, but it humbles you. But then if you take a step back and have good perspective, all those numbers, it's just physics. Like it's literally just calculating physics and doing
with AI, dude. It's so accurate now.
Yeah.
And they have ways of analyzing stuff that used to, remember how they used to put people in suits and you had to get the little dots and the balls they'd stick on them. It was like the spandex suits, and then they do all the movement analysis. They do that now with just your phone. And
as
it
soon
gives
as you
you
swing,
layers.
it pops it up on their AI.
I think it's called Linear. I might say it wrong. Linear. It's one of that. It was developed with iPhones. Like it has like a kind of like, remember the Predator movie? It just like pulses and it sees everything.
Yeah.
And it's like linear. I'm saying it wrong because I always
think
miss
it's the same Snapchat, when the same technology of like,
I think they use that to
mapping,
incorporate because they pick
yeah.
everything up, and that's like, so like when they started doing like, the little white piece they put on the iPhone, like the little, that's not a flash. It's like it's a
pulse.
Yeah, it's a pulse.
Signal,
it's like it's like the Predator,
the ultraviolet signal,
and I think that they're using that. I mean, or
ultrasonic maybe.
I'm for AI, and I know you're highly for AI too. I mean, I went to Full Sail, and I love the art world. But I was telling Emily, I was like, with me is like I talk to AI like a person.
Yeah,
I have thank you.
I do too, man.
I do not like. I'm not like basic on this.
I'm glad I'm not the only weirdo.
No, it
really looks out for you.
Yeah.
You gotta
one day you never know. I might need AI.
Well, I mean, I got so
AI daddy.
I got so distraught. I'm not gonna give the name out on my for insurance, but I got so tired of this old school 2005 insurance stuff. So I've been for the last 3 weeks using AI and but actually coding because they can't help me on certain parts of it. But I've been building my whole entire database for my insurance clients. Like I got so mad at it, I was just like, I'm just going to do it. So I'm sitting here building the whole entire database that was like emails. My agents has goals, gift rewards, everything, and I even have like games involved in it. Like I'm going mad about it. So I always want, like, I got a few agents coming on, and I want them to feel like reminders, and you got this, and it was like take over 3 things in a day. Like put 3 things down. I stole that from you, but that's what I put into the software. It's like you just conquer 3 things, put 3 things down, and that's how I kind of built. But I've been using ChatGPT to walk me through of how to place everything, and it's been amazing. But I treat it like it's coming no matter what. Okay.
You had the AI, like this friendly voice to like, good job today. Continue the good work.
I just patted you on the back.
Well,
I just think it's all about efficiency. Like so many people think that AI is like cheating, whatever, but like you could get so much more done and efficiently done. Now, I mean, do you have to fact check it? Do you have to all those things? Yeah, but man, it is a game changer on efficiency. Like, I mean, the things you can get done just in any job or any position that you have using AI I mean, it's going to be wild what it is.
AI is great for me for commands. And so for me,
pushing it, saying like, hey, now do this, now do this.
I'll
and
say hurry up
okay.
Like it'll be like, it'll say this PDF document is loading in a few minutes, and I'll be like, man, I'm in a hurry. Can you please hurry up? And it will just go and it'll send it to you.
Well, so for me, it keeps me. It's all checks and balances. It's just like, for me, it's like, all right, where am I at? Because I tell it where I'm at. So every step I'm like, I'm just make sure that I have everything in line.
Yeah, staying in order.
Yeah. Because I will, if you miss a step, when you do mess with software, and anybody can do this. I mean, anybody can do this. But when you miss a step, it can mess up everything. It's a cobweb. I mean, it's literally just building a web. And if you're off on that one web, it won't work together. It's like teamwork all in. So that's like helps me because I'm like, okay, well, I need to. All for me is to go down a list.
To piggyback when y'all are saying, I just looked through my chat GPT search, bunch of random stuff. But one was like, all right, how do I fix me closing the club face and putting? He gave me a whole list.
So read it off.
All right, so
Hopefully, it starts saying go to NeoGolf.
go to
All right,
NeoGolf.
read it to Allan, the pro, and then he'll see how.
All right, so it says mechanical flaws in setup is what it's due to, or stroke mechanics. So number 1, overactive hands or wrists. Number 2 could be poor grip. 3, alignment issues. Inside out stroke path. Mental tension or yips. And how to check and improve. So it just gives you a whole lineup.
that's
But I
Let's start with like
remember-
mindfulness.
Right.
Did it mention like
Yeah, like-
breathing by any chance?
I feel like you're
with
already,
mental tension, yeah.
That's awesome.
So practice, relax, smooth strokes, incorporate breathing. So on all these tips, on all 5, it gives you the cause, the effect, and how to fix it.
How to fix it.
AI will help with
It's
that.
insane, dude. It is.
But here's the thing now. People, all right. So now people are going to get the answers that maybe they've been getting from me. And now even that is validating it. But are they going to do it? Because that's the trick now. It's
True, I
like,
did it
yeah,
for a
you
day.
know, but are you going to do it? Because doing it is the only thing that changes anything. It's only movement.
It's just, yeah, I mean, it's like, do you want to, sleep in for an extra 15 minutes or just go for it? And it's kind of I'm with you on that. But it's at the same time, I think the biggest thing is we've had a structure of, it's always been, career paths, especially with education and things like that. I mean, while we're in our age group, it's always been like, well, you got to go to do college. You got to do this. You got to do that. So, I mean, you're trained. You're always just trained and trained and trained. But like sometimes some of the best work I've ever done and some of the best invoices I've ever sent off is at 3 a.m. Listen to music and getting high. I'm being honest with you. I'm very proud of that. I didn't have anybody tell me that. I was just like, this is what I'm going to do. Judge me for whatever. But like, there's a lot of stuff like the Henry Ford created the 9 to 5. So there's always this kind of like rules, too many rules. And it's like, that's one thing I love about you is like, you work so hard to be a pharmacist and you did, you've ran a tight ship and you've put your heart into it. You're a great dad. You got a family, but you're like, I'm going to be one of the best golfers. And I love people that believe in themselves. And that's what people do lack too, is like confidence in themselves and having that drive. Like, and you do, like you go and people are like, huh? But you're doing it every day. Every day you get up and you can have the worst golf game, but you're going to go golf tomorrow. And it's just like, fuck the haters. They're the worst. But that's like, but you also have to have that heart.
When you say part of success is actually learning, it's like literally where you learn to not almost either use it as fuel, and it's like, and sometimes too, that's the most powerful fuel is to like prove people wrong. And so sometimes just those couple voices, you can use it when you need it, but you don't want to rely on it. You want to be driven by something much deeper, which I think is just persevering, grit, enduring, and almost that makes it even a little sweeter when you're like doing the thing you set out to do.
I always tell, I've been to a few golf coaches. I can't name how many, but anyway, I always start off by telling them, I want to get on the tour, senior tour, so you got some time.
Yeah.
You want to get on the tour? You really get off the tee, but I was like, I don't care. I want to be on the tour. I'm like, coach me to beat my friends, whatever.
Yes.
I want to be on the tour.
You want to be the best.
That's the
Yeah.
kind
Jim
of grind.
Gano did it.
Yeah.
Jim Gano, Honda, shout out. Jim Gano was a professional golfer, and he was on the senior tour. He was actually my boss. You know Jim.
I don't know.
He was Papak Honda. He was the manager. He was a good
I
golfer.
saw his face. I probably.
Yeah, he was a really good golfer, but he actually had more fun playing on senior tour. It's still like, I don't know.
Not
I mean,
easy. It's still a hard tour.
yeah.
They
Senior
say it's
Q
hard.
school.
They say it's harder to get on that than it is on the regular one, because what happens on the senior tour is they want all the guys that were really good when they were younger.
Professionals.
So they give them preference over the guys. There's a lot of guys that are better than the guys on the senior tour. They just don't really have an
They want the
opportunity
names.
because they want John Daly out there. And, I mean, but you can get on there. I think how it works. So we had the first stage of Q school for PGA Tour Senior Champions Tour the last 3 years at Grand Bear. And so you qualify, and like the top 13 would go to the finals, and Arizona, and that was in a different place, I think, this year. And you have to finish in top 4 So you got to go to one of these sites that has 100 at each site, finish top 13, and then go to this site where you're the top 13 from each of the 3 sites, plus all the guys that fell off the tour last year, and then you got to finish top 4 in that to get on there. And they only take 4 every year to get on there, unless you have won the Masters or have some kind of status where you were famous or you were yeah, you had some status.
You've won a couple of events, and
Yes.
that kind of made it. Oh, so Allan, you've been, I mean, shit. I mean, I've been knowing you since I was like 12. You've been golfing since, how old were you?
I'll be 40 next month, but yeah, I've pretty much been golfing since I was, I don't know. I mean, my dad brought me to the golf course at least when I was 3, 4, 5 years old. I would say I didn't really take it up like seriously until I was 10, 11, 12. But I've been playing golf pretty much my whole entire life. So it's been,
what makes you keep going though? Like, you know, for the love of the game. Because I mean, I'll tell you, like, you know, it was you and Stevie Ray. It was y'all 2 fuckers that were like the golfers, like, and y'all great golf. But from now, like, I've been knowing you, you're still in this game. You've worked at golf courses. When Robby reached out, what was the whole passion about? Like, hey, we're going to start NeoGolf, and we're going to start training people. Like, was it scary to like take that jump?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, it was we just we're both able, we've known each other since we were, you know, across the street neighbors growing up together. And then we went to high school together, middle school, high school, college together. And so we just both have a passion for teaching others, and we learn through that. And we both really are. I mean, I know I'm speaking for myself. I'm a lifelong learner, and I love teaching the game of golf to other people. And so we wanted to do something that, you know, golf is on an upward trend. I think they said the last 2 years of the first 2 years that indoor golf is outgrown outdoor golf. And so with simulators and even outdoor golf is still growing. The golf business has just boomed since COVID. And so we had the opportunity to have the space to do something really unique. And with us, it's not just having an indoor golf facility. You know, we have people ask us all the time, oh, you're going to throw a bar in here, you're going to have a restaurant and stuff. Like, we're leaning into the golf vibe. Like, we just want it to be golf. We want you to come in there and you can have a good time and hang out and have events. And we do catering and beverages and stuff for events, but we really wanted it to be golf centric. You know, we didn't want it to be a restaurant with golf, and we wanted it to be a training facility that would just kind of be that symbiotic relationship with the health and wellness that he has at Neo Life. And so I started doing it. I was still working at Grand Bear when we started, you know, building and developing NeoGolf. And I've recently just started full-time at NeoGolf, which has been awesome. Like, it's been phenomenal to see how the business has grown. And yeah, I was scared. Me and him have had many conversations
before we
about
started.
that.
I was like, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah,
It pretty much nailed every step.
He did, yeah.
It's better to take that leap though. I mean, you just the unknown.
I didn't take the leap though. If I'm being honest with you, like, I can't go into all the semantics.
No, but
there was
a period of still trying to figure out.
God was like, hey, I need to shut this door for you because you need to be in this position. And I was being a little hard-headed about that door being open or closed. And so I wanted to take the leap, but I was scared. And I mean, I think everybody who is going from the last 15 years, you know, I was a registered nurse at one point, been in the golf business for the last 10 years. I was in the golf business before that, but exclusively in the golf business. You know, it just it's scary to take a leap and bet on yourself, but it's been awesome.
That jump to entrepreneurship, man, it's another level.
Yeah,
it's another level. Like right
and you
now,
have a family and kids too.
Exactly.
It's like that
It's
just
another level.
amplifies things to the next level. But that's all.
I love it. I love the way, like, the unknown. I love the fucking unknown. Like, I like, if it, to me, in my brain, this is how my brain is. I am fucking weird. So my brain tells me, like, if I can tell myself if I'm being too complacent. And with working for yourself, it's like it checks you. And I love where it's like, I mean, whether it's the pink dress front or starting an insurance company or anything, it's like, I like when I start shaking and I'm like, fuck, like, can I get through the day? You know, and like, it's just, and then you're constantly growing. But I love anything that's like, it's a super challenge. But then once you hit it, that feeling like it did work out. And you're your worst critic. You're sitting there going, I mean, there's times where I talk to myself in the mirror more than most people. I look in the mirror at myself all the time. And it keeps me, I make sure that I build myself up through a mirror. But yeah, that unknown of being a business owner is like,
I haven't made it to the moment yet.
but
no, it's awesome. But it's just like, I feel like I'm chasing that rabbit that I can't catch. Like I want to get to that moment, but I mean, we're getting there. Yeah.
But what the time is, by the time it's not like it's a slow process of doing it. And it's actually, you kind of can lean into that comfort. And then next thing you know, you're kind of feeling like shit again.
But it's still, so for my situation was like seeing the product and seeing you can do it.
So and the persistence of just developing positive actions and habits, and not because it's almost like the more you really focus on the outcomes, a lot of times the harder. The
next day you swipe that clean and you start.
He has a much better ability to take those leaps and do things, and I think that helped me to do that as a partnership that we had. And like I was, he's been doing what he's been doing for the last 10 years. And so it just gave me the confidence of like, man, I got, he's done it before. He wants me in this. I want to be in this. And so, but I don't think that it's like saying, I'm not ready to have a kid. Like, are you really ever ready to have a kid? No. Like, I mean, I don't think anybody, so it's the same thing. Are you ever ready to take that jump? Probably not.
From a student of the game perspective, I feel like hearing that you're all in would make me want to commit to you. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, this is what he does. Not 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah, he's the golf pro of NeoGolf.
Exactly. That's it. And so kind of like, all right, well, he's all the way. He's invested like everything in it. He's going to give me all he has right now.
That's a good perspective to have. I mean, not thinking about it a lot like that, but that is, man.
And honestly, the value that I see people getting now while we're still in this blossoming stage, which is like part of this is I'm just a witness to it, and I enjoy being there because I can kind of practice and play with less guilt again, because if people need me, I'm right next door. So like this is kind of an office for me because I have meetings there and stuff like that. And it is better. It's less stressful. It's a little bit farther away. And then, but just getting to be there and hear his lessons and then get to see him now that he's just got some free time, because that's a part of like, I feel like the entrepreneurship journey is really realizing this is like relationships and connecting with people and not getting complacent that each customer matters, and like seeing people just come in and check it out. And the next thing you know, Allan's giving him like a full-blown golf lesson, and it's like, just because that's who he is and he's just being himself, and just, so I get to sit back and just watch it because I already see what that turns into. You already know that's going to eventually, you do that enough, it works.
It's going to work out for you. Like I said, you're in it.
No, it's awesome, man. The sky's the limit. I'm all in. I'm as happy as I probably haven't. I mean, I haven't been this happy, professionally in a long time.
Well, because you're doing what you love.
Yeah, man. And you bet on yourself. We got a super limited amount of time on this earth, so why not, man?
You can't sit there, like I said, you can't sit there and live in like the office space world.
Yeah, no.
It's going to get fucking miserable. I mean, you're really going to get miserable. I mean, you've dealt with a lot of that stuff. I mean, like you have, but like, I think also too is like the golf world has changed, and then like from like, I didn't know that you were an RN, but like from going from an RN, that's a hard, tough world.
Yeah, man.
What made you want to say, I don't want to do that anymore?
Well, the golf, let me say this about golf. When we were young, golf was not cool. We didn't have cool golf clothes. It was big ass baggy pants. You had the FootJoy shirt that went down to there that you had to like do 3 times. So golf was not cool. So what, like you said, golf has changed. Like now golf is cool. So like things like NeoGolf kids are wanting to do. From my nursing career to my golfing career, I was, inside a lot. I'm the kind of person that my whole entire life I've been doing something golf related. Even when I was nursing, I was the assistant golf coach at Gulf Coast Community College at the same time. And so like, I always knew what I wanted to do in the back of my head. And so we moved to Mandeville, and I was assistant golf pro at Money Hill for about 8 months. And and then I got the job at Audubon as the tournament director, assistant golf
Got
pro.
Rob Noel out there.
Yeah,
That dude, yeah, I went over there a few
yeah.
times for that.
Yeah, I was there for about 8 months, and then I got a job at Audubon, and I was there until COVID. And this is the crazy thing about how NeoGolf, and it comes full circle. And so God is my witness. So I'm standing on a ladder in Audubon, and so for the last 6 months, me and my boss, we wanted to do a simulator at Audubon. The part of the cart barn had been rebuilt, and so we had convinced them we're going to put a simulator, kind of what we have at NeoGolf, one of them. And I'm on the ladder, like hanging up the projector, and we get this email that says, "Hey, due to COVID, everybody go home." And I never went back. They laid everybody off, and I never got to use the simulator. Not one time. I built the whole room, like up, down, left, right. And then I ended up getting a job at another course at Latour and Matthews. And then I went to the Masters in 2019, and the general manager from Grand Bear was looking for a house. My dad's a real estate agent. They ended up linking up. And then when they posted the job, I applied for it. And so I worked there for the last 4.5.
Give him a plug though.
Yeah,
Is it Dean Martel?
Dean Martel.
Yeah,
Yes,
Dean Martel. Let's go. Shout out, Dean.
We literally, so we walked in and we watched part of the golf, and it rained, and we went out to the car. They made everybody leave in Augusta. And this guy called my dad, was like, "I just moved here from Chicago. I'm GM at Grand Bear." And he was looking for a house. Well, then 8 months later, I was looking for a job. So we made that connection. And then full circle with the Audubon and the simulator there, I already kind of knew what I needed to do for NeoGolf from that experience. And it's just funny how it works, man. Life is insane sometimes, how it works. It connects together.
How that phone call go for y'all though? Like, I mean, how did that first day, like, I mean, a serious day, like when you're like, you were saying like a little bit about being, you worked at Grand Bay, but like,
so he approached me in my office, and when he first approached me, I was like, literally, I was trying to think of every reason like not to want to do this, because at the point I was just getting out of construction, and I was just trying to just simplify everything and just not get involved with any other complicated stuff. I had a couple other business deals that I was involved in that just didn't pan out, and so I was just trying to consolidate my resources and just get more conservative. And then it was literally like, at first he would show up and we'd just talk and work on stuff and just catch up, and we'd be doing therapy and just hanging out. And then he was grooming me. yeah. And then it was just like, and then eventually he kind of approached me about like I really want to create, when he started talking about his vision for like how he could actually do his thing and almost just escape from the corporate, agenda and really start to build his dream. That's whenever I was like, okay, I understand that. I was like, yeah, let's focus on that. And whatever I was thinking as far as my plans with the building at that point, it was almost like, all right, I know we were thinking at it as it on the same plane too, because at first he wasn't asking for the whole building. He never asked for the whole building, actually. He just wanted enough to where he could start to do his thing on his terms and have the right technology, the right facility. And then as we started talking about it, we're like, well, if we're going to do this, and then we just started kind of building on the ideas, and then we're thinking about names and branding, and then eventually NeoGolf was just like, duh, and then we just really thought about, let's really piggyback on the branding we've already built with NeoLife, and then and then now we have NeoFit. And so really just starting to look at it as a Neoverse, and just building wellness related businesses and, physically, and then also the idea of like the evidence and the science and the part of it that I like, that as far as NeoFit, that fits right in line with what we're trying to do with performance training. And so it's really looking at the reality of movement and how we move energy from the ground through our bodies, and working with the fighters. It's all the same general principles. I
steal some of their stuff they say about the fighters movement when I'm doing my golf lessons too, but I don't think I was grooming. It's funny.
No,
like
no.
I think it's funny that it's funny like that, because
butter him up.
It's just crazy how we reconnected at that exact moment when both of us that's just
because
how
it was
God works,
organic.
man.
He
Like,
wasn't
it
being
wasn't-
pushy about it. He
yeah,
was just like
it was
like, what do you
an
think
aha
about
moment
this?
for both of us at
Yeah.
the same time, and we were like, we can make this happen, and yeah, that was the cool part. It's been that part of it. We've known each other for so long that we're able to do and work that well together and kind of know what each other's thinking.
And honestly,
beforehand.
God worked in our favor with a couple of
Yes.
things where we were both kind of loyal and committed to another situation that would have actually made it to where we couldn't use the full facility. We would have only been limited to 2 bays at most. And so something fell through, and then
we were like, oh crap,
all
but
right.
then it was a blessing. We were like, we can expand, we can make it bigger.
And then when the
so-
idea of an indoor golf range, like the idea of being able to like kind of fill that void, just makes sense, because you're like, all right, how many people are going to the golf range, and then really how much access is there to anything when it's raining or when it's blazing hot outside or whatever. So it'd be worth it to have a membership at a place that you can just go and keep up as a range membership, and then it's 24/7. When we started bouncing that around, I'm like, duh. And then obviously automation. You're like, well, really employees are really, as wonderful as mine are in the health service industry. In this thing, I'm not really interested in having a bunch of employees, Allan.
Yeah.
And he was like, I agree, from just managing people, it's difficult. There's a lot going on.
Well, that was another thing too. It's like, especially, putting money and time in that too, coming off of how many locations you have now?
Well, we have 4, and then we replaced the Diver location. So now we have a new facility there.
And how many employees, or
About
family
4.
members you have?
Well, about 40
So
total.
it's a lot on you just to, as you
Yeah.
being a lead
I have great-
doctor of
look, I have-
therapy.
I have amazing administrative and executive staff that has been with me for a long time and really help me in ways to grow and develop, and even in terms of the vision part of it and letting it develop and making them a part of it. And now my CEO, Becky O'Neill, she's a true CEO. She literally, while we're going through this whole growth period and the build, she literally finished her MBA from LSU. I never asked her to do that, but she's just like, she almost in a way, I would have given her that.
She got a company car.
She's an executive.
Yeah.
You have to see her office. She's a true executive. And but she didn't want no handouts, and she didn't want the title without her feeling like proud of that. And nobody asked her to do none of that. In the meantime, she's like taking her daughter to practices and coaches and helping her develop as a fast pitch softball player. And she's now like an elite fast pitch softball player. And literally Becky's like just behind all this stuff, and she's like a really unsung hero.
Just a quick question, not to go too off topic. What exactly is NeoGolf? I feel like it's training, it's indoor golf. Like, what at the end of the day, like, what do you guys want NeoGolf to be?
Indoor. So we label it as an indoor golf facility, and so you can come in and play real golf on one of 300 golf courses, or you can come in and improve your game. There's self-game improvement, Tracy Trackman AI, or you can book a lesson with myself. Our other instructor, Colin Lockey, can book a lesson with him too. And so we just want it to be exactly what if you were a member at so-and-so country club in a sense, but it is for people to come in and really that are geared to improving their game. And they want to experience playing golf inside at the highest level. You can, there's places here that you can go do the same thing, but the quality of the experience isn't that good. So we want it to be the highest level experience, 24/7 access, automated, come as you go, men's locker room, golf gym feel, all of those things wrapped into one. I mean, we don't want to just have one facility either.
Looked at it from like a market perspective, I would say we want to occupy, because you see a lot of these places, they are like restaurants that also have golf simulators. So you'd say that's entertainment. We're kind of offering that in the scope of we rent the space out and we do catering type stuff, and we can actually delegate like half of the building to that and still maintain our indoor golf range. So it's kind of separated in a way where we can maintain the indoor golf range memberships as well as offer those. And then also we kind of occupy that space of sports performance and high level performance and metric driven performance. And I think that's kind of what Allan's speaking to, is that that's really our flagship, as far as like, we want to make sure that people understand what we're offering from a value perspective is really, it's the highest level of sports performance. And that's kind of the lane that we're shooting to occupy and drive into and serve value in that way, because that's the kind of unique thing that we can offer. And then we also have the indoor driving range. The way I look at it, from the public bookings or from memberships, you're offering and what interested me too is when the PGA market research, it showed that the highest growth demographics were African American and women, and a lot of that was just because of access to golf in cities, whereas you can access the indoor golf range pretty easily versus not having to drive out to the country club or whatever. So I thought that was super interesting and really a part of our bigger community mission, So we were able to occupy like 3 really primary market categories that they spoke to unintentionally. And when we went to the PGA Tour, I'm sitting there like, this is crazy. Like, we're literally fulfilling everything they're showing. They're showing indoor golf as the biggest growth category, off-course golf spending. And so it's like all these things are just falling in line. And we're there, and we missed the snow day. The most beautiful snow day. And I'm sitting there in Orlando, so upset. My family sent me pictures back. We had 8 inches of snow in the yard. I'm like, this will never happen again.
We're in a hotel room. It's
built a fucking igloo.
Yeah.
My neighbor right here built an igloo.
But it's a lot. That's really where a lot of this stuff, for me, from a deeper level, I was like, yeah, this really makes a lot of sense.
Is there money now? What you're seeing, like Tiger Woods have this like show came up. Is there money in it now? Like, so for instance, like video game background, MLG, there's tournament play. Is there tournament play for if you do indoor now? So there's like, grand prize of,
there's free tournament play to where it's just like on Call of Duty where you can just play and get on a leaderboard if you rank high or whatever. But there's also paid tournaments. So you can pay $140 entry fee on TrackMan, and you can pay in the top 30%, just like they do. They pay out prize money. And so it's really cool. It's called Next Golf. They make you video your round, and you can go back at the end and watch every single shot that you hit in that tournament and everybody on the leaderboard. And so they run, it's called the Next Tour by TrackMan, and they'll have like 6 to 10 events throughout the year, but they're money events. So you pay to get in them, and you can win.
What's the highest purse right now?
I can't remember. Honestly, I was not be lying, but the best part about it was the first time I ever did it.
Gambling involved?
Yeah, of course. That's what golf's about.
Honestly, if I'm being honest, that was one of the first things I did on TrackMan. I didn't even have it all set up, and I was like, I'm going to play in a tournament. I paid $130, and I started out okay, and then I got to like the 8th hole, and I hit one over in the water, and I was like, shit, and like I was loud, whatever. Well, we got finished playing the round, and I went back to watch. It shows everybody every swing, and you could hear me go at the back of the thing, and I was like, okay, next time make sure I control my emotions. I'm on camera, but it's that part of it's cool, and then the other part of it is what Robbie was saying. We both have kids and family, and like making it a community that where kids want to come and hang out. And my kids both play golf. So Rory Nelson is the general manager at Sunkist Country Club, and we started Coastal Junior Tour last year. So last year we had 4 events over the summer. It's sponsored by Nukes, and then we have each event sponsored by some other companies as well. And we had about 40 kids in 4 events. 40. And then this year we added 2 more events to 6, and we've had close to 50 to 60 kids, and we divided into age groups. I ride around and hand out frozen watermelon and fruit pearls, and just like try to keep, we just want the kids to have fun. It's a developmental tour. So one of the hurdles I battle is like people people shy away from saying to go play tournament golf. They think you have to be really good to do that. Anybody will go play a baseball game or football game, but if you say tournament golf, oh, my kid's not good enough to do that. And that's not what it's about. It's developmental. There's a max score. If he doesn't, he's not going to be out there for 7 hours, you know? And so the Coastal Junior Tour has been awesome. Nukes has been a great sponsor for us. And we've really tried to use that as a way to grow junior golf on the Gulf Coast. A lot of the courses we've worked with have been very gracious to,
how can they find y'all? Like how
at coastaljuniortour.com. Yeah. And you can
the home base for
we have on July 8th is the 4th event. So we still have 3 left. We have event 4, 5, and 6. We partnered with the Coca-Cola Junior Tour in North Mississippi. So the best players in our age groups will go play a Ryder Cup event against the best players in their age groups at Tupelo Country Club. And then next year they'll travel down here and play us at one of ours.
I'll tell you what, I can get Allen Beverages on there. My buddy owns Pepsi.
Heck yeah, let's
My
go.
boy Andrew Allen. Shout out to you, man. We play some video games together. But I can reach out to him for you.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Whatever help we can.
Oh no, Andrew Allen, like he loves community stuff. Like his dad ran it for a long time, and he took it over when his dad passed away. Yeah. He's our age,
awesome,
and he's all in it. Like if he does more for this Gulfport area and the coast. I mean, if you go to Burrito Zone. You drink that Pepsi. That's my boy. That's my boy Andrew, dude. Like he's got a podcast too, but like he loves kid events. So like I said, I can get him real quick.
Yeah.
To help you out.
That's why I have the coolest job in the world, though. I genuinely say that. I'm not saying that to be funny. Like I think I do, but so I get to do that. And then we host PGA Hope. So PGA Hope is an initiative for disabled veterans, retired veterans. And it's a free clinic every Wednesday from 8 to 9 a.m. at Sunkist. We're already full for this session. We'll have another session in the fall, but it's so cool. They come out, we're all certified coaches. We go to a PGA Hope training class and we do 8 weeks of a free hour every week. We have about 12 to 15 participants. And then I get to run Coastal Junior Tour. We do a session at Fans Camp at Our Lady of Fatima during the summer for NeoGolf. And so we're trying to make NeoGolf just everything. We'll come run your golf tournament, longest drive. If you want a birthday party event, we have a blow up hitting bay that we can blow up at your house and you can hit balls.
That's cool.
So we just want it to be everything. We want whatever we can do to make.
We're all dads.
Yeah.
Exactly. Think about how cool it is too. You play in a golf tournament and you make 18 your longest drive, let's say on that wind dance, and then you get to the end and you have a blow up inflatable TrackMan longest drive deal to where you take the guys coming off of it and they're a little drunk, a little competitive, and then now you get a chance to kind of gas them up a little and compete with maybe a $5 swing longest drive contest right here. And what's even cooler is we could actually even put the TrackMan deal behind. We could actually set it up like on the tee box, and so you could even have it to where we could see the flight trajectory and stuff back at the clubhouse.
That's sick, man.
And then you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like there's just so many cool ways you could integrate
the tournaments
and then make more money for fundraisers. Like we could literally sit there and actually help people raise more money.
Yeah.
And
try out the Pink Dress Run.
Yeah. So the longest drive thing is, so how it works is we've done Athena golf tournament at Neptune. So everybody, you walk up to our tent and I have an iPad, I have a camera phone, and I have the TrackMan, and you just come up and put your first name, last name, and your email, and you walk up and you hit your shot. And so like the Neptune tournament, I think 190 people hit. It was a double shotgun morning and afternoon. And at the end of the tournament, I hit finish event and I hit send, and every person that hit gets a video email of their swing right there with the leaderboard of longest drive with their stats and everything. And so instead of going to these golf tournaments now where people are just like, I want to win the longest drive, put it up there and cheat. We're running a real longest drive. We're giving away a free membership for the winners. And so we're trying to make it more.
But you said TrackMan though, like y'all still have that ability to do for the golf course, but can you take it out to just, like I said, like
take it
to run, hit a net? And because people, I think the biggest thing about too is people are intimidated to swing.
Yeah. No, this is like a pop-up. You can put the TrackMan behind a blow up, like a jump house. You just put a mat down and then you hit, and you can do exactly what you do inside of NeoGolf at somebody's house for a birthday party. And
at first, even we were thinking of space accommodations. We were thinking, like, I was kind of initially being like, let's kind of keep it tight and let's try to get an extra unit in. And we really consciously spread it out, made the bays extra wide, so you didn't have to like you didn't have to do something if you had a left or right-handed. You could have full room on both sides, and we made some almost really like a deluxe version of the TrackMan booths. And we went to the PGA tournament, and we walked in, and I saw the way they had it set up, and it was just all trimmed out and clean. And we looked at each other and we were like, yeah. And we just had them literally come and reproduce what we saw there.
Yeah. The front rooms we DIY. Well, I call it the first rooms. My dad, Robbie, my wife, who God bless her, my kids, like my kids, it's one of the coolest places you can go as a kid, but my kids hated it for a little while because all we did was work up there. So, but my wife and my dad does the club repair, but we DIY the turf, we DIY the netting, the screens, the projectors. Shout out Pete Jones, helped me with the IT stuff, you know.
It's Loxicom.
That's it. Helped me out with that. We had put up all the TVs, and so we had the first 2 bays. And then that took though like 60 days. I mean, I'm working full time at Grand Bear, trying to get there in the afternoons and on the weekends. And so when we went down to the PGA show and we saw these units that they come and just install, yes, you know, it's a little more pricey, but they were there and gone in 4 days. And when they left, it was like we just went up and started hitting. So it just was more efficient that way. And it's a lot cleaner field. The coolest part about our facility though now is you have that vibe. But in the back, the DIY vibe is where I teach and have my
That's where I
and like
prefer to play.
Most people at first they think the front room is cooler, but the back room is more of like where we teach and that sort of deal. So
especially if you got 2 groups that are like boys, you can almost get 2 units and then play 2 separate games, but still be chilling together. So it's cool.
What's the wear and tear of like, you know, there's got to be wear and tear because I mean,
on the screens there, and the screens, like the hitting screens, you know, they're probably last a year and a half.
We haven't made any holes in the ones we have yet.
No, we haven't, not yet. But you don't want people to play with balls that are scuffed up because it's going to tear up the screen. It's just a felt. And then you don't want the golf balls to be dirty because it'll leave a mark on them. But the biggest thing that wears out is probably the exact hitting area where you hit. You're probably once a year just swapping out, and then the turfs are, you know, I think the one we have is like a 8x8. And so you just take that one out and put a new one in there.
At this time of what is it's July 4th, 2025, tomorrow. But what is y'all's prices right now? And I know prices got to adjust and change.
Yeah.
But where y'all at on prices right now?
So right now for public bookings, it's $50 an hour. And so 2 people can go in there and play for an hour. You can practice or play whatever you want to play. There's no restrictions on what you play. You book your bay and you come to the door and hop in. The options we have for membership, we have 3 options. So we have a par membership. So you have access from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and you get 4 hours a month for $119 a month. Every time you can bring somebody with you for free with that membership. Our second membership is a birdie membership. It's 10 hours a month, but it's 24/7 access. You can bring somebody with you every time as well. And then the Eagle membership, our premium membership, is $299 a month, unlimited access. You can only book 2 hours at a time, but you have unlimited access. And you get a 30-minute golf lesson every month from myself or Colin. Cheap. And so, yeah, man, it's not like that's what we want to make it fun and affordable.
It brings it down to like literally like probably $7 an hour.
Yeah. And so
like if you used it to its, you know, full potential.
And we have 50 members. I was counting it the other day. We actually have few more of the Eagle members than we do of the other, because my professional opinion, you know, if you're new to golf and you want to come to me once a week for 4 to 8 weeks, that's awesome. But if you've been playing golf for a little while, if you're coming to me once a week, then you're probably not practicing enough in between our lessons for it to really get settled and so that's why I like that Eagle, is because you can come once a month and get tuned up, hop on the camera. I'll show you what you're doing, and
you can prescribe,
and it usually lasts
1
longer
or 2
than 30
things
minutes.
to focus on.
Yes.
And then you hit them up again next month.
Yeah. And then what I'm like a doctor. Okay. You come in there, I give you the medicine. You go get it from the pharmacist.
Look, so
but
if you don't go home,
if you don't go home and take the medicine, then you're not going to get better. And, you know, and most people, not most people, I have people sometimes that they come in there for a golf lesson and they come back 3 weeks later and I'm like, man, how's it been going? You know, how much golf you played since then? He's like, last time I was in here. And so you're really not going to get better. So I see, I love that once a month deal.
And this is a practice facility. Like you can get efficient reps and exactly it's quality reps. Like when you're out there with the bucket of balls, I was imagining you sweating your balls off hitting because your coach only let you play 9 holes. But then I'm like, dude, now when you hit that shank or you blade that shot, you're really not sure what happened. Or was it your face open? Why? Was it your hands? And then you look, now you do that thing, you look up at the screen and you literally immediately see, oh, my grip before I started was off, or my feet were like pointing this way, or like my hands were like way behind the club face or something like that. You immediately know. And you're like, okay. And you adjust instead of like doing that same thing 3, 4, 5 times. And then, you're already hot. And so it's like the efficiency of practice and the quality of repetitions is how the nervous system adapts.
Is it like a video watch you do, or it's more like AI with the points?
You have a live video of yourself, so you can actually take your own cell phone. So one of my bays, my teaching bay, I have phones permanently set up. And so it auto detect when you swing, it knows that you swing and it takes the video and it pops it up on the screen, a live video of your swing. And then it puts the AI tracer lines on your golf swing, but you can do face on.
You can take them off. You can put them on. You could
do all kinds of stuff. And,
you can do layers of whatever, or you can just have like a couple little things on there. Just track your club head. Your mind
so scrambled in there. But we don't do that. That's what. But so with my lessons, what I do, if you're a member, it's $100 an hour. If you're a non-member, it's $150 for adults. For kids, it's just $80 for an hour or $50 for 30 minutes. And I do packages. If you buy 4 up front, I'll give you a 5th one for free. And I do all of my bookings. I use this PGA coach app. So I just set my availability for the next couple months, and you just go in there and book it, and it shoots it straight to my email. So I just try to make it as easy, as efficient for everybody.
And if anybody mentions this podcast and they come in, we'll give them 30% off their first month.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's go into I don't want to leave it. I want to dive into you a little bit too, because and this is NeoGolf, guys, and this is state of the art. I mean, you have to be. Y'all are like Globo Gym.
And dude, we want to develop it to be even. We want to develop it to be even more so. Like we want to go hard and really follow as this thing becomes successful. We're really going to reinvest.
And like I said, like I play Call of Duty, Robby, and he's like, I'll spend 2-3 hours a day there. I mean, I know he loves it. Yeah. But Shawn, let's get into how'd you discover golf, and knowing that, what made you get into golf, and let's take some steps, because you've been, and talk about how long you've been at it.
Well, initially I just got into it for fun. Last year pharmacy school, I was moving here. My buddy Jacob just said pretty much coast life is going to be boating, golfing, a little going out, but mainly you're going to be boating or golfing. So you have to get a boat or get a best friend with a boat. Pick up golf. Yeah. So that's the vibe. So I picked up golf for fun, but you know how it goes. You don't want to just do it for fun. Anything you're going to put that much time into, you really want to get better. So about 4 years ago, I started finding coaches. Just want to dial in. We go on these golf trips every year. Tired of being like second to last. Beat my boy Shawn every time. Shout out Shawn. But that was just a goal to get better. And so first coach, we were doing well. He Tim McCain was his name, and he ended up having a little family, and it just left like a thirst in my mouth because I was really getting better. And then the kid was born. He couldn't really commit to coaching. And randomly, I'm practicing the Sun Kids. This guy's like, "Yeah, I'm a gym teacher and or gym coach, personal trainer, and I play golf. We can do both." And as he's coaching me and we're working out, I'm realizing he's learning golf too. I'm like, "How are you my coach?" Like, this is where we went wrong. Like, I'm paying you to teach me. So it's true, but he was like a 9 or 10 handicap. It was just hustling. So I've seen all sides of it. And I committed to Rob Noel for a little while, but I got tired of driving those hours. But I just wanted to get better, man. And so now I have the Simulator and Living Room 2 memberships, Preserve and Shell. Shout out to Preserve and Shell.
Shout out to the wife letting you have it in the living room.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to my wife. It's the family room. My daughter's 9 months calling up there, chewing the balls. But just dial in, want to get better. I feel like I'm getting there. My gen right now is at 18.4. When I first started 4 years ago with him, I was plus 33 or something. Wow. Like that. But so it's a lot of grind, dedication. Like I was mentioned before, probably 2-3 times a week. I'm out there. I was there today. Played 9 yesterday. Played Sunday. But always come back home to the family. So right now, like you said, coast life. I'm not on the boat as much, but it's golf and family. So that's just my thing, and work, of course. But we're a golf family. Keep it really simple. So if I'm not with them, I'm going to be spending on the course somewhere, just trying to dial in. But a place like this just speaks volumes to me, because I feel like that 60-point assessment where I can actually dial in. I want to get some lessons, but I'm still over. Like, I've been through 6 or 7 coaches. I'm just tired of coaching. Like, when I get out there, I remember what they say, but then I have all this stuff in my mind, and I just feel like right now I just want to get better, but I want to learn from my own mistakes.
Sure.
And we'll see where it goes.
I'll get you right now, since you've been on the show. Yeah. I'll get you a free give you a free. Allan will do a free assessment.
Absolutely.
He'll do a free assessment. And then
you may be to the point, I tell people this, like, you may be to the point in your golf game where you need more coaching from golf course management perspective. Like, hey, what shot should I hit here? Hey, where am I aiming at this? Where am I doing this? And so, like, my lessons aren't always technical, man. Like, it may turn into like, hey, we need to have better perspective on this, or hey, we need to have a better mental approach on here and there. And so just be open to the plethora of things that you can improve to make your golf game better. And it may not be technical, issues. So, I mean, yeah, man.
And what I like, it's kind of like a good therapist, just let you kind of talk sometimes. You just ask the right question and then they'll let you talk. Like, what I'll appreciate is, like, he'll just start hitting. Like, so he'll just watch you, and he might watch 10 shots before he even really talks to you much about what you're doing. So in a way, I think the approach that's effective is you said it, like, it's a busy mind, and we know, like, the mind and keeping it clear is probably the most important aspect of any performance, even us performing and not looking like idiots on this thing, right? It's just in being just relaxed and calm and flowing. And so I think the way that we both approach coaching is really trying to address that first, and trying to simplify the process and try to, like, think about what we're putting in people's heads and, like, what the words we're using and how that's going to actually become more an obstruction to movement, because movement and this intellectual thing, they're in opposition to each other,
But we were saying yesterday, the body just doesn't listen to the brain in golf.
It doesn't sometimes. Have you ever read the book, The Golf Zen? Have you ever read Golf Zen?
Is that the one where it's like meditation kind of golf?
Yeah, a little bit of it. But in that book, I tell this to people, it's one of my favorite quotes from, like, a golf book. And, like, people will come in there and get technical and get frustrated and all that. And the guy in the book said that he was a mental golf coach, and he would go on the PGA Tour and he would say, hey, here, sign an autograph for me. And the guy would sign his autograph, and he'd look at it and he'd hand it back to him. He'd be like, all right, here's another piece of paper, trace your autograph. How hard is it to trace your autograph? It's really hard, because you're trying to do something. And what he was saying is, how many things do we do out throughout the day that are difficult, like tie our shoe, brush our teeth, that we don't even think about, that are just mindless? And it's like, I want you to stand over the golf ball and tie your shoe and be mindless and be athletic. And so those are ways to learn how to be better at golf as well, that aren't just technically related. It's just having a different perspective on it, a different way to approach it. And that's where Robby and I connect, to connect some of those ways. When you're coming to me, I'm not giving you 60-degree angle here, 40, we're looking at it on here and how it relates, but golf is so much more than the technical part of the swing. It's a lot more of the other things than
basics
it is
of moving your weight from here to there and understanding it.
And so I that's our approach, man. We like to be a holistic approach to golf. But
the thing about that is just broke 90 for the first time 3 weeks ago. But it's
congratulations, dude.
Congrats.
Yes. And it was a lot of hard work, but we're there, boys.
It's been a long time.
Some sweaty summers, man. But I actually broke it without a driver. So this one guy I was playing with, he used to coach high school golf, and he mentioned that he had a player on his team where he just had him using 5-iron for an entire year, and it was about 74, 75. Yeah. And then afterwards, he got him to the driver, and he scratched. Yeah. But I was like, just use your 5-iron. Don't listen to your boys. Use it. Yeah. I broke 90 with a 5-iron off every freaking tee box. So that's all I use now. I'm not getting all the distance, but it does get in the fairway.
Dude, that's
all. 5-iron.
It is.
You get 100 yards out, just ticket.
They don't put pictures on the scorecard, do they?
Right?
I'm sitting here nodding my head, but I'm like, I can't.
Enjoy the driver.
I just love hitting that driver, man. God, when you hit a good driver, it's
It
such a
does,
good
it
feeling.
does. I do miss it.
But when you hit
Shout
it
out
like crap,
today, we don't know if these really count on social media. I think it's speculatory. I'm kidding. I'm messing with him. He made the first NeoGolf hole-in-one earlier today on a
Kudos.
175. What was it? 175?
177.
177. So he owes y'all drinks.
I was gonna say, all
drinks. But no,
First hole-in-one
we've been open
Nice.
since February, and he's the first hole-in-one that we've had in there. So
Yeah, dude,
How
it
do
was
you- how
so
do you-
dope.
Are you gonna do
Today,
are you gonna do a
what happened
photo on the
today?
wall?
we're posting it.
Okay.
And then look,
Yeah,
and
we're
then
done.
yesterday, Allan kind of downplayed it, but we placed first in like a national,
Like one of
TrackMan
those global
tournament.
events, and they
As a
pair
duo.
you in like a group of 200 people that are kind of comparable to what you are.
NeoGolf is like, I'm telling you, bro. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm like a 6 handicap ish, but I'm like as a scramble team, we actually really complement each other
Yeah, it
super
was
well,
good.
and we're tied for first in then like a national TrackMan tournament.
We looked at our ring camera. So what happened was the very last hole we needed to eagle it, and Robbie made a 41-foot putt on the TrackMan. We were like chest bumping. So I went back to my ring camera and I was like, I gotta see that again.
Yeah, I sent him
But it
across
was-
the room.
Yeah, he like pushed me and I went.
I was like, oops.
But that's what's fun is like that's you get that feeling of like I'm playing in a real
Dude, I'm
golf
talking
tournament,
adrenaline.
like it's fun.
I mean,
man.
it's definitely it's probably like the doing the matches that
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm like, dude, I feel like this just happened. Like even the hole in one, I'm like, it felt as good as if I was at a course.
Yeah.
I think they can help you
literally
though, Shawn. I really do think that. I ain't like I think that in a situation, and they're gonna Allan will say you like this. You live on that road.
Yes.
You
Oh,
live.
yeah,
he
yeah.
live on Sunkist, so he lives on that road.
Yeah.
He can
I'll just
literally.
give you my number. You can
Dude,
stop by
and we
whenever,
should
man. I got
document it,
you.
honestly.
Yes.
And then we should go ahead at this point right now. Go ahead and just set
Breaking 85.
Breaking 85.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But we gotta get past not using a five.
And then we'll get
All
all right. Look, here and now we'll claim it. We'll have John do the footage and edit it up. He's already doing it all, so it just fits perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. John's awesome. You just can't get better than John, or he won't film anymore.
I'm better than John right now. Look at her. John knows.
Dude,
That's my boy.
but he's
That's my boy.
improving, man.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
works in there,
Yeah,
bro.
he does. I love.
He's in there a
people
couple days a
him
week.
and you sound just like him. I love
Yeah.
people that like actually want to practice to get better and
Mm-hmm.
like come in there and don't like the guys that come in there that just think that one golf lesson and one range session are going to change their life. It's just they don't have the right perspective. I love throwing out those numbers. It's like this guy put a pitching wedge in his hand and he's like topping it every time. And I'm like, do this drill. Let's hit 10 shots and see how you did. And he hit 3 to 4 of them pretty good. And he was like pissed. He's like, I hit 30-40%. And I'm like, okay, how far do you hit your pitching wedge? He's like 105 yards. I'm like, all right, what's the PGA Tour average from like 120 to hit the green in regulation? And he's like 75 or 80 at least. And it's like 55%. And so like people's perspectives are also skewed to what good golf is and what their expectations are of themselves. And so
Mhm.
we have a lot of posters on the wall of like PGA Tour averages and all the numbers that they attain. And so that way you can have a good perspective on, hey, the best player in the world is only going to make 30% of 10 footers. So if I practice and I get the best in the world, that's all I'm going to make. Have a good perspective when you're out there on the golf course and you miss 3 out of 10 30 footers. You just did the best.
It goes
As in,
deeper.
you know what I mean?
Allan can literally have your swing and he'll be like watching you and he'll be like, here you go. Ching. And he'll have like Adam Scott, same swing, same club, same perspective. And it's in sync. It's timing the rhythm of your swing up.
Yeah,
So you can literally match every single benchmark and position to any pro that you want for any club.
Ladies,
fucking
Like it's
insane.
weird, bro.
It's wild,
Like
yeah.
there's a function called Tracy that literally watches you, that you just press it and she's like, okay, like keep swinging. He's just like, I'm watching what you're
Like
doing.
Alexa on your phone.
And the next thing you know, she's like, okay, like I
voice
pretty
pretty high
much
or what?
know exactly.
she just like she has like text that pops up on the screen, but then she'll say
Is she British?
your club face. Yeah, you have
Yeah.
terrible club face.
If she
control,
talked, it'd be over.
that would be creepy if she talked. But yeah, and then she says, hey, you need to work on club face control, and you hit start focus practice, and it'll pop up a picture of the club face, and you just practice
and
trying to get
drill
your club
specific
face.
to the
Like,
problems that she just identified.
yes.
So it's like it goes so deep in the technology. Every time I'm in there, it's like you really start looking at how deep it is. And what I love too is TrackMan's really, you could tell that's their lane. They're trying to be on top of like providing the best stats.
So they're like the Apple of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
simulator.
Yeah.
They update every month. You know, I don't know how often your SkyTrack updates or whatever, but like that's the best part about TrackMan is the courses get updated every month. If they have any issues, there's just constant updates. And then now they've started that free world. Like if you came in there right now and hit tournaments, competitions, there's like 5 free events you can play in. There's like a close to the pin, there's a tournament, and so you can just come in there.
The hole-in-one came in one of those tournaments.
Yeah, he was in there.
Yeah. And then the thing we did yesterday, that was like fun.
And
So your sauce is all around the board.
Dude,
Oh,
NeoGolf is
yes,
representing
Sauce.
all
Sauces
over.
it's
Allan Martel dash Salson. My wife was like, what is that?
It's Robbie's
I was
name.
like,
It's
They don't
Robbie's
Gamer
alias.
tag.
No, it's alias. It's
Let 'em
Sauce.
wonder.
Sauce slides in Call of Duty. You're like, that's Sauce. Sauce is coming in.
I did a sausage story behind.
Oh
that.
no, like when it comes to Call of Duty, like Robbie, like it's very competitive, and when he slides in, you're like, oh, we're gonna. So it's like we'll get mad because it's like if we got to be 5 and under. So there's like let's say their team of like 20 or 40, 5 and under. I mean normally it's like 3 and 2. Like if we get like 3rd place, it's like we're like shit. We're mad at each other, like we're screaming at each other.
And like Jordan is the best teammate, so you'll win more often playing with guys like Jordan because he's not as such. Because like I'm sitting there just trying, I'm trying to like zoom and kill everything in sight, but he's more because like if somebody's down, he's rezzing them. Like his mission changed from this to that.
Yeah.
Like, and that's his job.
Well, I just like, I mean, I like the team. If you put me on solo games, I mean, I spend so much time. Like if you get in a situation where it's just like blah 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 blah, you want to jump, but like at the same time you want to win.
He's a team player.
You want to win on scores. Like my scores will get higher if you get more. If you get more kills, that's cool. But I'll have more like res teamwork. Like you go in a competitive circuit, but the whole idea is actually just capture the win.
Yeah,
I'm trying to be like the Ronaldo. I'm trying to be the forward out there, just like.
Robbie's the guy that's on the tee box trying to hit his driver as far as he can on Call of Duty. He's
I'm like, be
just
calm. Look, I'm up there doing like meditation, trying to be calm, and then right at the last second, I'm just like, It's over.
Well, you know, you looked at like when I was doing competitive play and like the Call of Duty Ghost areas and stuff. Like I went psycho on doing SMGs. Or like you see with shotguns. If I get a shotgun, I'll just run around with shotgun. Yeah. But like you get in a situation where I was like, we wouldn't win in every game. But if you get like if there's a 4-man team and you can communicate, you can trade guns, we share. Like the one thing about us is like
you just be like, here, you want my gun? Just drop it. I'm like, hey.
But it's fun. I mean,
Steve Nash of Call of Duty.
Oh, I love it. Look,
serving it up.
Like, you need ammo, you need a gun. Like, I'm like, cool.
But that was like the best. Like for me, like you get so competitive. But like if you're really having fun, like now, especially gaming for me is just like I'm not gonna get super mad if I quit. If I lose, I'm not gonna get super mad. I'm literally just honestly smoking and playing video games.
We troll so bad, honestly.
It's fucking fun,
dude. Me, you, and Dope would troll. We've literally had it to where us 3 would be together, and we would have so many 4th people quit before we even started matches because they would just start talking shit, and I'm just sitting there like, bro, y'all are going to scare off like our 5th teammate in a row, and they were just like, man,
it's gaming with the boys. I mean, it's like it's just having a 2-hour window to like get home, and that's one thing I do appreciate playing with like Brandon Davis. I'm going to read off comments before we leave. But Brandon Davis, people like that you get to play with, and it's just like we're just dads getting off of like. Give us 2 hours together. Let's talk shit. Let's have fun. Cut it off. I'll see you tomorrow, or I'll see you now as we get older. It's like once a week.
I feel like our generation made dad life pretty cool, dog.
Yes,
like,
man.
Good.
Yeah.
Call of Duty. Like dad's growing up, we're doing what we're doing. Right
No, I play with my kids. Like my kids are like my excuse because now it's like, well, the boys, I'm spending time with the boys, and now they're all talking. I'm a sweat. To them, I'm a sweat. Dad's a sweat. I'm a Call of Duty
Or
sweat.
try hard is what they're
But
calling you.
Fortnite, oh man, they hate on me so bad. They're like, Dad, you suck at Fortnite.
Let's
It's like,
That's-
let's
I
see
got
this
the
right here.
simulator, Family room.
All right, we got Justin Wetzel in here. I know this is Justin. You're probably still in here. You're gonna watch it on the way to work tomorrow.
Bill.
But if it keeps raining every day, they'll be expanding the bat building to add more boys soon. Justin McNeil said, "Great idea, Robbie. Going to have to come check it out, especially if it keeps raining."
Yeah.
Brandon Davis, it's always the yeps. Laugh my ass off.
Yips.
Yeah. Laugh my ass off. You don't, you know. All right. Justin Wetzel again. Keep up the great work, guys. I'm going to get by there eventually to check it out. Boothby, hello, boys. Gilbert's in here. What up, guys? Money Hill is a nice track. Haven't been to NeoGolf yet. Definitely want to come check it out. Actually, I get you a 30-minute play there or an hour
Oh,
play.
yeah.
Yes.
All right. And Mom, shout out to you. Love you, Mom. Oliver will go check it out. And guys, you know what? I put their neogolfclub.com in there. Get out, have fun with this. This is like, I mean, this is pretty much played against sports when I was growing up. My dad gambled a lot, and Mr. Joey owned it. And I had a key. I had a key to play all the games that play against sports. So my dad and Mr. Joey would book. He owned the whole entire shopping center, and they would just give me. I had unlimited plays, so I was pretty good at the golf game, and I was pretty good at blitz. I fuck you up in blitz, bro.
I love that.
Yeah, but it was free for me, and then I was but yeah, but guys, check it out. Get active, get out of the house. That's another thing too. Is and congratulations on y'all's journey. You know, from the coast. We do kind of sleep on being a little delay on a lot of things, but I think y'all jumped on this one quick. And yeah, check out Neo Life, Neo Golf. If you need Neo Fit. Love you guys so much, and we'll have more for the next time. Thank you, Shawn, for coming on. Thank you, Robbie. Thank you,
man.
Allan.
That was awesome.
We love you guys. Mississippi Gulf Coast out.